I love For Sale by Owners and Expireds because it is the direct line to business right now. So when you get good at it, this is where you want a listing. This is how you're going to get it the fastest. And we are in a scarcity market. So if you can figure it out now, you will have a career that will feed you for life. All right, I'm just going to go and lock the door here. Hang on 1 minute. All right, so let's start. So, how was your week, people? Anyone have any good stories they want to share? I know of three of you that had open houses this week. I'm not seeing you here, but that's awesome and something we want to work towards. And I was helping people do CMAs this weekend, so people are looking to move.
I got in touch with my mechanic guy whose wife wants to sell her house on her own, but he said they haven't made a move on it yet, and he'll keep me posted. So that was a positive movement as far as I'm concerned. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So, how is it going on making the calls? Does anybody want to share the difficulty? Are you doing it? Are you pushing yourself? Is it hard? Have you given up? What's happening?
So to get yourself over the hump to make the first call. And usually what I do is I just stare at the phone and say, it's not going to go away, and just do it. And I pick it up and start dialing before I even know what happened. The phone's ringing. And you can't
Has
be
it,
too fearful because not that many people answer their phone. So so there's not a whole lot of conversation going on. I got I don't know how many I did this week, but I got one hang up, one no thank you, and the rest were voicemail. So just got to keep going. I know I'm following up with letters. I have like 40 letters to send out today. So yeah.
that's really how it is. It's like the first call is the hardest call, and you just got to do it. And then you find your amazing computer mind will come up with the right step. And the more you do it, the better you get. But I know a lot of you are doing it. So thank you for your investing in your future. And if you haven't started, then you will. But you have to keep it going. It is the tediousness of those everyday activities. So our goal, 5 contacts a day, adding one person to your sphere of influence a day, and 5 handwritten letters a week. Okay, so anybody you can't get a hold of, or you tried to left a message, or you connected with, send them a letter, a handwritten note. So I'm just going to share with you my favorite thing. If you go on 21 online, go into the Productivity Hub in the menu in the upper right-hand corner, and then go to where you order business cards. They have these great postcards you can order, and they're not expensive. So even if you get like 25, what's nice, it has your picture and your information on the back. So you can just write. I have big, gigantic markers, and I just write, I was thinking of you. It's not, it's not, doesn't have to be wordy, thank you for, I left you a message. I'd love to talk to you. Doesn't have to be like crazy, but they start getting to see you. So it puts a face to the voicemail, you know? And there's a ton of them. There's funny ones, there's cute ones, there's serious ones, whatever you like. So, handwritten letters, make it easy for yourself. Play to win. Play to win means do something you know you'll do. Promise you're something to yourself you know you'll do. And then your goal is 2 appointments. If you have just started the program, it's 1 appointment. But these conversations need to turn into an appointment. And then 2 social media posts a week. Okay, at least. So one thing I love about expireds and FSBOs, you can make appointments and it's not hard. So if you need to catch up on appointments, you just have to get in front of these people and maybe even knock on their door rather than call. Okay. Comes Luz. All right. So here we go. Hi, Luz. Oh, brother. Okay. It's hard for me to navigate sometimes. Okay. For sale by owners, expired listings, off-market opportunities. That is what we're talking about. Our objective, go after these people and make appointments and get the listings. Today's session, have a realistic strategy for listing expireds, FSBOs, and off-market properties. Commit to the strategy. Create a mindset to win. Practice your CMAs and marketing strategies and listing conversations. So I sent you in the invite some scripts that are pretty good. Make them yours, redo them so you feel comfortable. But it's good to have something that you know you're going to say every time. And that said, it's also good to call and be spontaneous. So don't think you can't do something, just do it. So let's look at for sale by owners. Okay, we're going to look at 10 ways to find them and strategies to find them. So the first thing, we have to find who we're going to talk to. For sale by owner websites. So there's a lot of online platforms, including FSBO.com, ForSaleByOwner.com. Zillow has for sale by owners in it, and Craigslist. Okay, what else? Trulia. I love Trulia. I don't know, it has a nice way you can see what it is. It's not hiding behind anything. And then there are more ideas. So we have for sale by owner websites. What are some other ideas? Okay, so here's one. Driving for dollars. So one of my coaches used to tell me this. Drive around targeted neighborhoods looking for sale by owner signs. A lot of for sale by owner sellers avoid online listings. So definitely drive your sphere of it, your geofarm. Definitely drive your geofarm. But also other areas. If you go to work a certain way every day, go a different way every day of the week. So you can see new streets. Write down when you see a for sale by owner. Or write down when you see a clue. So it's not just the signs. What else is there? You're looking for tag sales, dumpster rentals, pods, people fixing up, painting, updating their yard, updating their driveways, their sidewalks. So that's why it's important to take a different route every time. Melody, what did you just say? Did you say Airbnb or B&B?
Be right back. I think it means.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were giving us a clue. Okay. There is one of my coaches used to say that it's absolutely true. Lots of businesses out there waiting for you to see it. Okay. Other things, the tax records, public records, absentee owners are in the tax records. And in the MLS absentee owners, it says Connecticut, not owner occupied, and outside of Connecticut, not owner occupied. So you can actually look for both. In addition to that, you have the Vision Government Solutions, which are the tax records, and Connecticut land records. Also, Facebook Marketplace has a lot of for sale by owners. And then local groups. So you can Google groups in there. And you have a lot of investor groups and things like that. And these are not agents. These are people that are trying to do things on their own. So join all the groups, keep your ear to the ground. Search for terms like Connecticut for sale by owner homes or for sale by owner houses in Connecticut. You can search Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, not just Google. You can also ask ChatGPT to give you lists of online properties, online for sale by owner properties. All right, networking with attorneys, building relationships with, you know what I love to say is build relationships with people that have been in the same amount of time you've been in. So if you're pretty new to the business, invite other people that are also new to the business, newer attorneys, newer mortgage people. Okay, where is it? Hang on. I'm looking for. There you are, Zoe. Okay. You guys can still see my screen, right?
Yep.
Okay. Um, Direct mail campaigns. So Moxie Engage has a for sale by owner email campaign, but it's email. And then Express Docs has for sale by owner campaigns that are mail. So if you can get the addresses and start building a database, you can also mail things for sale by owner. Okay. Send postcards, send letters, owners of vacant properties, expired listings that didn't sell, long-term homeowners who might be considering selling that don't live there. Use mailing source lists like PopStream or List Source. Also, I have Kohl's. I can send you lists of neighborhoods. Kohl's Realty Resource. The classified newspapers are still around and for sale by owners are still in them. I have the Hartford Courant online version, and then you have New Haven Register, the Day, New London. There's a lot of different um, the Shoreline has some as well. There's also meetup groups, real estate investment groups like CT REIA, Connecticut Real Estate Investors, and different meetups. Same kind of idea. You can search for sale by owner in Hartford, and narrow it down for sale by owners in Connecticut. Set up Google Alerts for sale by owner, Madison, Connecticut, Google Alert. Any, for sale by owner, Connecticut, or just for sale by owner, but you'll get the whole country with Google Alerts. I have all kinds of Google Alerts. They're great. And then mortgage brokers, title companies if you're in Florida, and attorneys, again, build relationships. So are there any more? There actually are even more. So here are some other online sources that have for sale by owners. Okay, so now we've talked about ways to get for sale by owners. Let's talk about the kind of psychology of a for sale by owner. So a lot of people just think, I have to call them, I'm afraid to call them, they don't want to pay a commission. But don't think about that. Think about them. What kind of person sells their own house? Anybody want to say what they think here? Does the average person usually hire a real estate agent to help them sell their house?
Sometimes this kind of person are person that are struggling, maybe paying the mortgage.
Maybe they're struggling and that's why they're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Maybe,
maybe they want to move to another place.
okay. But why not hire an agent?
A bad experience with the previous agent.
Okay, maybe they had a bad experience and it made them think we are not smart. If Jody Dessing can try to sell houses, I can definitely sell a house. I don't need Jody, right? You ever think they think that way?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my sister does.
You know, it's so funny. My nephew, he is part of a big hedge fund. And when he was a teenager, he loved real estate and we would watch real estate movies. And I would even bring him to some events that I would go to. And he, we would talk back and forth, the different things, recite the movies verbatim. Well, he one day I was telling him, well, you need to do a CMA, and we're talking about different things. He goes, a CMA. That's not the worst. It's not worth the paper it's written on. I go, that is not true. We really help people figure out what their house is worth. And my brother told me the other day, so now he's running a big hedge fund. His number one company is Zillow. Okay. He told my brother, I think Auntie Joanne really does know what she's talking about. I was like, justice. But it's true. We work really hard, and people don't look at us like we really are that necessary when they see us. And the better agent you are, the easier you make it look. If somebody asks me a question about real estate, I'm not going to stress them out and tell them everything. I'm going to tell them what they need to know. This should be like their birthday. This is a present. You're buying the best present you'll ever buy. I don't want to stress you out. I want you to have good information so you can make a good decision. So I'm going to give you good information to make it easy, right? And the best agents, the best salespeople, they make it look easy, whatever it is. So what is wrong with that? People don't always know what we're doing. So now we have to also kind of have a little bit of a swagger and explain to them what we're doing and why we're doing it. So why would the average person want to hire an agent? And then we have the outliers, which is less than 10% that sell on their own. Well, one reason really is this. Because when you look at that 10% that is for sale by owner, most of them are buying directly from a builder. So that cuts out like 7% of the 10%. Now we have like 3% left. And most of them is because they know the owner. That's why they're doing it. They're not doing it because they're advertising themselves. So now you have maybe 1 or 2% that are actually true for sale by owners and are going to put their listing online. And most of those end up selling with an agent. So very few actually sell on their own. And one of the reasons is the average buyer wants representation. They know they're getting in over their head. They know they want help. And even if they're experienced and they've done this before, they don't want to go it alone. So I know many times I've been like, because I've sold for sale by owners to buyers when there was an inventory and I knew there was something that they would like and it was a for sale by owner. And guess what? The for sale by owner pays the commission and is unrepresented. I represent the buyer if I do that. So that, we can do that. It's perfectly okay to do that. So the average for sale by owner psychology, it's a husband and wife, and the husband doesn't want to move. And that's what it is most of the time. And he says, Uncle Harry sold it on his own, so I'm going to save 30 grand and I'm going to try it myself. And the wife, but he really wants to stay. He doesn't want to move. Who wants to move? One of them wants to move, one of them doesn't want to move. That now we have a for sale by owner. And now he's going to the office and he's hiding behind his cubicle taking calls because, he's working at an office. And they get, okay, we have somebody coming to our house. Oh, we're so excited. We clean it. We make sure everything is perfect. And then we're waiting for them to come and they never come. Why didn't they come? They take it personally. Or maybe they drive by really slowly and they keep going. And they're like, why didn't they stop? So they start to take it personally. Or they do come. Now, most buyers don't want to go to for sale by owners either. So that's different. So if buyers do go in, they probably have taken some kind of Googled it and everything. And how do I get the best deal type of thing? So maybe they criticize their wallpaper, their paint, their, condition of the house, things like that. They take it personally, right? It happens. So the market will create a learning curve for sale by owner, and that's why they end up working with an agent. Because somebody like me will go there and say, listen, I love your house. I can't, I think everything about it's great. And I think I have a buyer. Will you pay my commission if I show your house and I'll give you something? You won't be represented. And they'll probably say, okay. Once in a while they'll sell it, but it's not the norm. Statistics are telling us it's under 10% go for sale by owner, and most of those are builders. So there's a lot of opportunity there. Does that make sense? So when you're calling them, don't think, oh no, they're gonna beat me up. They're gonna say, I don't want to pay the commission. Well, if you think it's a good house, why didn't you show it when I had it on the market? They don't think any of those things. Okay? Same with expireds. All right, so all of these are great sources also. So you want to start getting a list of for sale by owners, look up their phone numbers, go knock on their doors, and give them items of value. So let's talk about now how to convert the for sale by owner. So number one, offer a competitive market analysis. We do very well at knowing what a house is worth. And it's not that difficult, but we have the tools to find out what things are selling for. We have buyers so that we know what buyers are looking for, and you get a feel for what's happening in the universe of that we live in. Highlight a good market analysis, also talk about the stats. So when you're talking to them, it's not just about their house. Start with the town. Here's what's happening in Connecticut. Now let's zero into Hartford County, Fairfield County, or whatever, or Florida, or whatever it is. Then the county, then the town. High level, this is what's happening. Okay? High level means how days on market. The average house is X amount of square feet. The average price per square footage is. If they have a $2,500 square foot house and you're telling them that the average price right now is $275 per square foot, they are calculating it in their mind as you're talking to them. So high level helps you help them by giving them good information. So highlight it, mark up your information. You can email it to them. You can give it to them in a package. You can have a conversation and then give it to them. So doing a CMA, giving statistics, very good. Second, ask questions to uncover their plan and objective. Okay, what are they trying to do? So here's a good question. Mick, if you sold your home, where would you go next? Oh, we would go to Massachusetts. Well, that's exciting. What's making you go to Massachusetts? Okay, so just getting information, uncovering what they're really trying to do. Well, how soon do you want to be there? How would you rate your motivation to move on a scale of 1 to 10? Great.
That's a good.
What methods are you using for marketing your home besides Zillow? So whatever I saw it on, I'm going to say, what other methods are you using besides whatever I saw it on, besides your sign? Can I ask you a question? How did you determine your sales price? Oh, another agent told me. Fantastic. So whatever they say, just say, oh, that's great. You don't want to get involved in their answers, okay? Why did you, and this is why you're getting information to help you down the road. A for sale by owner is not one and done. It's going to be like 5 conversations on average before they list. Okay, so just relax. You're making the first conversation. You just want to leave the door open to call them again. By the way, why did you decide to sell it yourself rather than list with an agent? We want to save the commission. Oh, that makes sense. I hear that a lot. If you were to list with an agent, which agent would you choose? Okay. Well, I think her name was Jody. They never remember who we are. Oh, Jody. I think I know who you mean. How did you happen to pick that agent? Oh, well, she sold us the house. Number 8. Well, if you were to list with an agent, what would you expect that agent to do for you to get your home sold? And they're going to tell you, oh, open house. They're going to tell you whatever they think. How much time will you try it on your own before you consider interviewing the right agent for the job of selling your home? Or how much are, time are you going to take before you hire an agent? Because most of them do. They're going to hire an agent. And they know it. They've given themselves time. Well, we're going to try it on our own for about 3 weeks. So they have a plan already. We're just trying to find out what it is. Well, let me ask you a question. What has to happen before you will consider hiring a professional agent for the job of selling your home? Like myself, I'm not really sure. Are you familiar with the techniques I use to sell homes? No? You're kidding. What would be the best time to show you? Saturday at 3 or Sunday at 10? So the idea is make an appointment. And I included 3 scripts when I sent the thing out tonight, so you can see there's other ones too. But I just want to take a moment. I'm going to put you guys into 2 groups, 2 or 3 groups. I want you to practice this page. So can you see my screen still?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's that you see the questions.
Yes.
Take a picture of the questions with your phone, because that's what you're gonna role play. Okay. All right, now I'm going to stop sharing. You can't see my screen. It just told me to share. I'm going to share my screen. You guys, can you see my screen now?
Yeah, it says number 2, ask questions to uncover their plan and objective.
Is that what you saw before?
Yes.
Oh, I'm going crazy. All right. I'm going to put you into the rooms. And I am going to pause. Okay, so did it make sense role playing those
Yes.
I know sometimes when we read them, it's like you have to really make it yours, but first you have to read it and kind of internalize it a little.
It's it.
Uh,
I think or I took anyway a lot from it, where all of these are interconnected. And yes, obviously working toward, the question that to make the for sale by owner person sell. But I don't know, they were well thought out questions to make them question whether they should be doing a lot more.
I like that. Excellent. Yeah, I love it. And a lot of times with for sale by owners, like I said, you could talk 5 or 6 times before you actually make the appointment. So you could even talk at, oh, you're doing an open house this weekend. I did one last weekend. I had 5 groups of people come through, that kind of a thing. So you treating them like an equal,
mhm.
and you're always treating them with respect.
Yes.
I know there's all kinds of techniques out there, but that's the one that works. All right. Next slide. I'm going to share my screen. Share. Okay. So, can you see the questions still?
Mhm.
All
Yes.
right. Okay, so the third thing, provide valuable information. So items of value, you have a conversation. Let me email you the migration report. So here on the right is a migration report that says 18.3% of the people that are moving in Connecticut are coming from outside of the state. And that means 81.7 people are inside of the state. So you get an idea of where are people coming from right now. Other things that the fast stats. We've gone through a lot of items of value in this session, and if you missed, some of you are this is your second session, so you're going to get inundated with things you can give your clients. So helpful resources, market updates, staging tips, negotiation strategies. Position yourself as a knowledgeable advisor, not just as a salesperson, but you want to get their house sold, but it's the respect.
I have a
Yes.
question for you.
Okay.
Looking at this graph, and you're saying 43% of the people are coming from New York?
43%
43%. Yeah.
of the 18.3%.
Okay. Because I'm thinking that's 43% of the population that a for sale by owner isn't reaching. We have our hands in everything. We were talking about in our group having all those web addresses that we're part of. We can reach across the world, but these people, they're only going to get people from their neighborhood, really.
Right. And
they're
who's
just
gonna give you the most money? Somebody from your
Somebody-
neighborhood?
No, absolutely not.
Right. Somebody from another country, probably.
Somebody relocating for a job.
Yeah. Or to be with their family. Like I said, a lot of people from other countries want to come here and be with their families. And I know from my own family, they all end up on one street. So that's kind of normal. So if something comes available on that street, if they want the most money, they're going to get the people that already want to live there. Okay, so and fun fact, one of our agents sold a condo, then was marketing to the condo, calling all the other homeowners, and one of the people said, I would only move if I can buy on this street in Oxford. So he called that street, he got somebody who would sell, and the buyer paid much more than she should have. because she wanted to live on that street.
Wow.
So that's the kind of thing an agent does. And then after they moved in, they hired him to list their house. So they're, calling around just listed, just sold is very good. There's a lot of business there. So you never know until you start having the conversations. Okay.
Excuse-
And go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But do you have any places that we could get lists from of people to call?
So most people here have a geofarm, and the best geofarm is your neighborhood. Now, I can get you lists for your neighborhood. Just text me what
Okay.
you want. And then if you have any past sales that you'd like to call around, text me the address and I'll send you the list for those areas too.
Thank you.
Basically, I'll send you anything if you want to call it, but don't say I want the whole state of Naugatuck. You know what I mean? That for it to really work, you have to get to know them,
Okay.
if that
All
makes
right.
sense.
I'll work on getting this list to you.
Excellent. Okay. You're never interrupting, Jude. Okay, so 4, highlight your marketing expertise. And that's where your listing presentation, all the information I'm getting, these screenshots are all from the listing presentation. Your listing presentation in Moxie Present has been updated and it has a lot of great stuff. So what we're looking at here is showcase your comprehensive marketing plan. So I don't have a copy of it here, but there's a 21-point marketing plan in here. Also include professional photography, online listings, social media promotion, and targeted advertising. So you can ask the marketing team to give you some of these things and put it, as flyers that you send to for sale by owners. Maybe you come up with 5 or 6 different ones that you can start going after and following up with something you can send them. This here is the report called the Golden Ruler Report, and it shows what website was referring the leads, and then it shows what city that URL is based in, that where the person lives. So you can see that people are coming from all over. Explain how your marketing reach exceeds what they can achieve on their own, like Mick was saying. Use the Moxie Present and RPR property reviews to get a quick take on the price and the area. Okay, and then, there's a lot of things like this where you can see that dominating the online scene is what Century 21 does with all of these things. 2.4 million visits per month. Okay, so number 5, emphasize your negotiation skills. It's not just the fact that we're out there, but the fact that we can get them more money. I wouldn't want to have honestly, I would rather list a for sale by owner to get them more money than bring them a buyer and have them be unrepresented, because most of the time they're not going to get more money if they're negotiating against you, the agent. So, you want to emphasize the fact that the average, well, and this is a NAR statistic, the for sale by owner that doesn't have help from an agent on average gets 9% less in their pocket than they would have if they had had the help of an agent. So we are there to help move things forward.
Well, and that right there covers the cost of what the agent would charge.
Right,
And then a bunch more. If we're charging
Right.
3% for a side. Yeah, how
Right.
about that?
yeah. Provide examples of negotiations and how you protect your client's interests. And these are stories that you can tell. And if you don't have any stories, Go to the office and listen to what the agents are talking about. Let me tell you the last time somebody was up against another agent. This is what happened. So those kind of things build rapport and trust. One thing as if you're newer to this business, the hardest thing is just be yourself. Be confident but friendly, approachable. Focus on building a relationship, not just closing a deal. And then follow up and be reliable. So show by your actions. If you tell them you're going to do something, make sure you do it. And when you're having with a for sale by owner 5 to 6 conversations, that's like, could be 1 week to 5 weeks before you end up listing. You're building a rapport. So even if you tell them, hey, I'm going to call you at 6 o'clock on Friday, just to give you an update on how something went. And then you call them at 6 and they don't pick up, don't feel bad. Hey, I just made a promise I'd call you at 6. I just wanted to let you know this is what happened. Okay, showcase your network. So our network is Century 21. We have, in the listing presentation, it tells them how many hundreds of thousands of agents we have and offices. We have Century 21 All Points, which I think we have like 750 agents. We have the State of Connecticut Multiple Listing Service, which is about 77,000 agents that recommend us and like working with us because we're ethical and we do what we say we're going to do to our fellow real estate agents too. So what does that mean? It means we don't pocket listings. It means we're honest with our fellow real estate agents. They know that we're good eggs. They can trust us. Okay, so those are the kind of conversations people like to hear. It makes them feel good, and it's true. Offer a staging consultation. So that is something that you just have to feel comfortable doing. I believe that anybody can do this that's sitting in this environment. I've taken staging courses. I've learned just as much by looking up things online. So Google it, make it part of your world, and offer to give a free staging consultation. So how would you do that? You would just go to their house with a notebook. Go through each room and make notes. Okay, so what I'll tell you what I have learned from it, and I took it from a top person. What I learned was you accentuate all the good things about the house and you diminish the bad things. So, for example, if you have a small yard, you want to put a seating area at the very back of the yard that's bright and you can see it because it makes them feel like, oh, I could use that area. You have most people today don't, well, people are starting to cook more, I gotta say. They're cooking more. But if you create your kitchen or your client's kitchen to look like, oh, I could be an amazing gourmet cook if I lived here. It's just kind of common sense. What would that look like? If I had an area that, who is the demographic that's going to move to this? Probably a family, maybe somebody with dogs, maybe somebody with kids. Then I'd want to stage the bedrooms to make them feel like if we lived here, they'd have a quiet place to do their homework. Or they'd have a great place for me to watch them do their homework while I make dinner, So you kind of create these spaces. It's not just, oh, it looks nice. It tells a story. And if you want to know what that's like, go to any big new construction subdivision and see what kind of things they have in there. You open the closet and you'll see a Yale football. They use things that are local and they make people feel like, oh, if I move here, I'm part of the Ivy League, So that's not that you would do that, but I wouldn't say that to people. But I would, help them arrange their furniture so it's, get a pod, get rid of half their stuff in their closet, get group things in groups of 3, get rid of a lot of the tchotchkes,
Hmm.
that kind of stuff. We all have it in us. Jeffrey Sylvester could be a great stager. Okay,
I love the faith, Jody.
that's right. I know. I can tell you could. So, 27 billion earned impressions across media outlets. That's Century 21. That's the brand. All right, number 9, follow up and be persistent but not pushy, because these are for sale by owners. It's going to take time. When you first talk to them, number 10, usually they tell you how long they want to try it on their own. Respect their timeline and tell them, for some people, if you get a for sale by owner that's getting bombarded, say, listen, it sounds like you're getting bombarded. I'll tell you what. How long were you thinking of trying it on your own before you hire an agent? Honestly, we're thinking like a month. Okay, I'm going to make you a promise. I'm not going to come out for a month. I'm going to send you my card so you can put a face to my name and my voice. I'm not going to come out for a month. I'll call you a couple times just to see how things are going. But let's see if you sell it on your own. Give them the space that they need. They're not going to sell it on their own. Okay. So this is the deal. My job is to help you get the most money possible with your best interest in mind and represent you throughout the entire process in a smooth and timely manner. So that's your elevator speech. Kind of imprint that into your mind. That's what you want to tell them. Most money possible, shortest time possible, the least amount of inconvenience as possible. All right, expired listing. So expireds are different. What is the difference between expired and for sale by owner?
Well, expireds have already been on the market with no success. So I saw a lot of the lines in the last for the FSBOs on the script kind of thing. I thought a lot of them would transfer over to an expired listing as well. Some of them
Completely.
are really, really good questions.
Right. Yeah, it's the same. So, oh, we had an agent. Oh, Mick was your agent? What did Mick do that you really liked? You always want to keep it high level, positive, take the high road. Don't talk about anybody or anything negatively. They will do it for you. He didn't do anything, Okay. What do you want your next agent to do? Okay. So, expireds. 10 ways to convert an expired listing into my listing. Converting expired listings into your own requires a blend of empathy, expertise, and strategic action. Here are the 10 ways to achieve. 1, reach out quickly. Have empathy. Reach out quickly. They are frustrated. You understand. Whatever they say, I understand. Yeah, that's not the first time I've heard that. Lead with empathy. So in Connecticut, if they haven't sold their house, what do you think the problem is?
Pricing.
The seller.
Both.
Yes.
Could be both.
Yeah. So the problem probably is they couldn't find a house. So there's Jody, I'll list with you, but I want it subject to me finding a house. And then a few months in, they can't find a house. Okay, so maybe an unrealistic expectation. So that's the first question. Now, just because they were unrealistic before doesn't mean they're not ready to change their mind. Some people don't want to change their mind with their first agent. It's an ego thing. It's not that they didn't have a good conversation and the agent didn't do the job. It's nothing like that. It's just that they know that agent's right and they don't want to admit it. Have you ever been there? You guys, anybody have teenagers
Oh, yeah.
or 7-year-olds? You know, it is human nature. So it's okay. You know, someday it will be you. Now it's somebody else. I'm going to take over, make them feel good. We'll start fresh. All right. So was the problem that you couldn't find a house or you couldn't sell your house? Because most of the time, if they can't sell their house right now, they are way, way, way higher than they need to be because everything is selling. Whoops. Florida, you guys aren't from Florida, but in Florida, it would be my experience tells me there's only two reasons why a home doesn't sell. So my experience tells me there's only two reasons why a home doesn't sell. One, it's overpriced. Now, I know the prices of most of the homes in the area. Honestly, I don't think that's the problem here. The second reason a home doesn't sell, it's underexposed. It's not marketed properly. So what do you think the seller's going to do when they hear that? Jody, where do I sign? That's what they're going to do because you just made them feel really good. And it's true. And can tell you, even in a bad market, many, many times, I've taken expired listings, had that exact script, and they list with us and it sells right away just because it's listed with another company. And we didn't change the price. But it's new to the market, it's a different agency, different group of buyers are now looking at it. The ones that saw it before are gone. So, you know, it sells. So that is the way it is. Fresh eyes. And let me show you my marketing plan, how we can get you the most money possible. It's one of the reasons we're the top Century 21 in Connecticut. It's one of the reasons we're in the top 20 Century 21s in Connecticut, in the country. Top 20 in the country. I think we're number 18. And we've been number one in Connecticut since like 2004, I think. So we've got this wrapped up. Two, again, a market analysis. So you're right, Mick. A fresh market analysis and then showing them the market trends so they don't feel like it's their fault. Here's what's happening. So you can look at this month compared to this month last year, or this month compared to last month. This year to date compared to last year to date, same time. So you can come up with good data that makes them feel good as an expired listing and want to list with you. Identify any issues and analyze the honest reason why things may not have allowed the house to sell. Pricing, market condition. And then 3, highlight your unique selling proposition. So we have an 18-point plan of action. Here's my marketing plan of action. Okay, showcase your strategy. Present a detailed plan, including professional photography, virtual tours, online advertising. Emphasize your expertise, demonstrate your knowledge of the local market and your track record of success. So if you're new, it's our track record of success, which we just talked about. Here's our track record of success. You know, myself and my team, Century 21 All Points in Stamford. And then that's your own it. Oh yeah, the owner, Ryan Peterson, I was just talking to him the other day. You know, don't be afraid to talk about who owns this company and what they've done, how they've grown. All right. 4, address pricing concerns. The best way to address pricing concerns is with a CMA. So this is a CMA that I did when I did the class on how to do a listing presentation. So this is an actual recent CMA, and it just shows you the different houses that are similar and then the different prices and how we really compare to each one. So when you're addressing the CMA, you're going to actually go through the pictures of each one of these. And if you have it on a tablet or your computer and you go through it one by one, you can actually show them, or you can print it out. So the team will print this for you, the marketing team, and they'll print the pictures on the inside so they can actually see what's going on. And then you're looking at, here's what happened in Durham. This is what happened last year, same time frame. Here are the houses that sold and, over whatever the price range is, and here are the differences. And then it's about, asking them, well, where do you think we should start? Based on this house, how do you feel your house compares? So it's not a matter of what I think, it's, well, what do you think too? And by asking them those questions, then you'll see if they're being honest, realistic, Okay. 5, offer a fresh market approach. So implement targeted online advertising. So, one thing we have here as a company with our Century 21 All Points website, we have a geofencing program. I forget the name of it, but it's very cool, and it's for the whole life of the listing, that their information will come up whenever people are looking in that area, along with your information, and the seller sees it too. And Century 21 has the same thing. So it's targeted advertising. To help that, you want to have really good pictures, and then in the MLS, every picture can have a compelling description. So as you're taking the pictures, think about what you want to say, because it helps with AI and SEO. It's funny because one thing that Google does is it will look at a picture, and it will look at all the other houses that have similar pictures and start showing them to that person. Have you ever used Google Lens or anything like that? It's pretty cool. So that's why you wanted to have good pictures and then put a description in there too. This is another nice presentation that we give to help build trust. It's the golden ruler, and I showed it to you before. It shows them, here's the heat map, and over here is what I showed you before, the website that it comes from. There's also a heat map, and the heat map sometimes is the other side of the United States where people are looking, or sometimes it might be another country, so they can actually see what's happening. That kind of thing, it's not your opinion. This is what really is happening. So you are the trusted advisor. And set down with an expired listing, you want to set the table for good conversations from now on. So we all have busy lives, right? Sellers have busy lives too. The most important thing you can do is what with the expired listing? They've already had a bad experience. How do you think they felt with their agent after a while?
Frustrated, disappointed.
So do you think that agent kept calling them every week like they did when they first listed it?
No,
And why wouldn't they?
that's the question.
And I'll tell you the answer. Because they don't have support. They don't have a good company behind the agent sharing with them how to get the price down, how to have a good conversation with your seller that's honest, how to go visit them in person. Let's talk about this. I don't want you to feel uncomfortable. What do you really want to do here? Communicate. So ask them how they want to be communicated to. Do you want me to phone, text? Is there one night that you and your wife, we can talk at the same time together, or you and whoever, we can have a conversation and talk about what's happened this week? You're going to find all the showings are going to happen right in the beginning. So you want to have that conversation. How do you want me to share the information? So this is what I'd like to do. It's going live on Monday night at 6:30, I'll give you a call and we'll go through everything. Or 7, because they're probably still having showings at 6:30. You know, when everything's calmed down, and I'll tell you what's happened, and then maybe we'll decide what the next step is. So communication, set the table for future communication and come up with a clear communication plan. And then part of that plan is providing regular feedback. Because a lot of agents, you know, we take the listing and they're like, no, 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 Jody, I want to list with you. I like everything you're saying, but I need to go 50,000 higher. You know, I have to try it. Okay, let's try it for 2 weeks. Now, 2 weeks from now, I call them, okay, we're not getting the activity that we need to get. So let's reduce it. I'm going to put it in. I'm going to send you something to sign. Well, wait a minute. We're not ready to reduce it. You know, we wanted you to put it in the Wall Street Journal. And, you know, they'll just come up with their unrealistic expectations. So if I'm not a strong agent that can deal with that, I'm going to be like, all right, let me talk to my manager. And then I'm not going to call them back. Okay. So that's the kind of thing that happens. It's not really the agent's fault that they didn't reduce the price. Probably it was originally part of their plan, but people get crazy. So, number 8, offer solutions to property condition issues. So that might be one of the reasons it didn't sell, right? Property condition issues. So how can we give them solutions? Have a list of vendors. Go into Facebook. Go into all the real estate Facebook pages where people ask who's a good plumber, who's a good window guy, who's a good this, who's a good that. And when you see the same person coming up from 5 different agents, probably that's the good one. So start creating lists and then call those people. Introduce yourself and tell them you want to start recommending them. Okay? Create lists. You can also ask, like if you're in Branford, ask Larissa. If you're in Stamford, you can ask Carl. Ask to get local people. Who do other people use for this? So, you know, issues might be their driveway needs to be re-sealed. Maybe water's coming through cracks in their driveway and it's just been a big issue. If sometimes it's more expensive to fix it than it is just to take less. Sometimes it's a low cost fix and they'll get a lot more money back. Do you want to know one of the top ways you can get more money for your house? A new front door.
Oh,
Isn't that funny? Like something, it might be $600 or I don't know what they go for now. I used Kelly's Hudson one. We got a new front door. I think that's what it was. It's so nice. Our old one didn't have a window. This one does. It just makes it look completely different. Stefan knows, but Stefan, your house is probably more like $20,000 for a new front door, right?
no, it's no new front doors. It's depends what kind of door you want. You know, the price is
Stefan,
different on the new doors. I mean, you
so
want to
in
print wood or you want to like just metal doors, or you want a door with the side lights on the side. It depends. Like,
right. So it depends on the kind of house and the kind of door
yeah,
and you know. Stefan builds 35,000 square foot houses.
you know, most time I do like custom cabinets, trimming, paneling,
Nice.
stuff like this.
So it's high end. Like my front door, probably my whole house would go for one of his front doors. So have recommendations to fix things, cracks, the front walkway, you know, provide vendor referrals, utilize social media and your online presence, showcase your success build your online reputation, and have consistent follow-up. Stay in touch. Provide ongoing value. Okay? And that's good for everything. So, any questions? Does it make sense? Do you feel like for sale by owners, what's the one thing you're going to absolutely do? Which one are you going to go after? I'll go back there. Because I had fun doing this, to be honest with you. I'm like, I didn't know there were so many good things you could do. All right, so we have all these different websites. We have setting up Google Alerts, networking, classifieds, investment groups, tax records, Facebook Marketplace, driving for dollars, and Trulia, Zillow, ForSaleByOwner.com. So out of all of these, which one are you going to definitely do? Jeff Sylvester, which one?
Oh, I feel like I'm gonna drive by. I like the person.
That's my favorite. That is my favorite, driving for dollars. Take a different way to work every day. Like if you make it purposeful, you're going to see them. And then you have to make a promise to yourself that you're getting out of your car with your card and you're going to put it in their door, knock on the door, they probably won't be home. And then take a picture of the door, take a picture of the street so you remember who they are. And then you can look them up where? Tax
Forewarn.
records.
Oh yeah, we're tax records.
Look them up on the tax records and you can get their phone number on Forewarn.
Mhm.
Okay, so driving for like out of all of these, that is the one that I think is the best. I have to go back to it. Any other ones you want to think about?
Mm.
Are you going to start calling expireds? Yeah,
I'm already doing it.
I know you're already doing it. Yay. You can call old expireds too, but it's a little different because they're not in a hurry. So you could go back to 2017, look up old expireds that never relisted and
Mhm.
start, connecting with them. Other ways, off-market listings, vacation rentals, Vrbo, Airbnb. A lot of times people get sick of owning those. At COVID, everybody went out and bought Airbnbs. And now they feel like they just want their life back. What happens every holiday? The toilets clog. And now they have to go figure out how they're going to fix this one from 5 hours away in the Berkshires
Well, let
or
me ask you,
wherever it is.
is there like a website or something that groups the Airbnbs together that gives you a list of those? That's a good idea.
Well, no, but they're all there. Just go to Airbnb. They're in Waterbury. They're in Bristol. They're all on the shoreline. There's a million of them. Vrbo, Airbnb. What are some other ones? My daughter just rented one for us to go on vacation in July on the Cape. But I know so many younger people that did this, And they're in over their heads, and then they watch, the news where like in California, people are like pretending that they own it, and then they can't kick them out, and there's all kinds of like crazy nightmares happening. So, all right. Thank you. Yashti,
Thanks,
thank
Jen.
you for coming.
Thank you, Jody.
Get
Thank you,
better.
Jody.
Good to
Thanks.
see you all.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
We'll be talking this week. I'll be calling you. Take care. Chris, I'm going to call you and figure out a time.
Okay.
All right.